ranch dressing? That's just nothing.
Ranch dressing
made up.
No, ranch dressing is
made up.
Ranch dressing is mayonnaise with an attitude. That's what it is.
Okay, it's
I
made
guess.
from buttermilk, salt, garlic, onion, mustard, herbs, and spices.
You just Google that. That's not fair.
That's
Okay, it's thickened buttermilk.
I did in fact Google it. Because I thought it was buttermilk because buttermilk ranch, but I wanted to make sure that was the main base ingredient.
Wow.
I'm furious.
Now, are you more furious at
What's
Michelle
new?
or that Canty doesn't have gravy? Are you? That's what I need.
Carla?
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
I knew.
Yeah,
I knew
which
you'd
one
go
of
there.
us do you have more of an issue with today?
Carlin.
Me or
Carla, I just
Easily
can't believe
Carlin.
not being a
Easily.
gravy guy was just the upset of the century from Chris Carlin.
Especially him.
Yeah, and he also is just like he's a good cook and he cooks a lot, and I'm very surprised to hear that.
I can't look at.
To be fair, he hates Thanksgiving because I guess his mom isn't a good cook. He said he said this on air that he didn't realize that turkey was actually supposed to be sold. That wasn't supposed to be dry.
So why are we punishing the holiday for?
This is crazy.
The menu is
That's
it's
flabbergasted.
subpar. It's mid at best.
All right. Let one more before we get out of here. I hate when you're watching a movie with someone and then they start asking you questions about the plot of the movie
I hate
that you're watching with them.
Yeah.
We're watching the same movie. I have the same information as you.
Hate that.
Just be quiet. Shush. Just watch the movie. You'll find out. I promise they'll answer your questions.
So who's this friend that's got you like that? It's always a friend. Name names.
It's my mom.
Oh,
Wow.
God, it's different with your mom.
God, Freddie
Wow.
backed me into a corner.
Hey, you did it to Nuno at the fanny pack. Why can't I do it to you when it comes to this?
My mom does that too. She'll be like, "Oh, do you think the dad's the killer?" I'm like, "I don't know, Mom. We gotta wait till the end of the movie."
Yeah. My mother does not do that. She watches it with me and everything like that. Waits to figure things out, and then afterwards we'll have Q&A.
Just always just, why did that happen? We're watching the same movie. I've never seen this movie. I don't know.
Your mom be awful at Clue.
It'll be like a Hallmark Christmas movie or something. I'm like, I haven't seen this. I don't know.
So when that happens,
I'm sure they're going to come together in the end. It's a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah,
they're gonna fall in love under a Christmas tree in Christmas Town.
So when that happens, I always pause the movie to answer her questions. Do you do the same thing?
No.
Oh,
No,
see,
I
I
don't.
do because I don't want to miss anything. So I'll pause it. We'll go through the process and then we restart it.
See,
I'm going to get an angry text from my mom now, Freddie. Thanks for that.
No, you've been disowned. The angry text will be the golden years as far as that goes.
No gravy at Thanksgiving this year.
Maybe no more Russell Wilson gravy in Pittsburgh for the Steelers. Could this be the beginning of the end on Saturday? That's next on Unsportsmanlike.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Embark on a flavorful journey at the Brewers Cooperative. Located within the vibrant community hub of Stovehouse in Huntsville, our brewery isn't just about crafting exceptional beers. It's a destination where culinary delights and local brews harmonize. Whether you're seeking a laid-back lunch or a lively dinner with friends, our diverse menu has something to please every palate. With a commitment to quality and a passion for innovation, we invite you to savor the unique flavors of Huntsville's craft beer scene at the Brewers Cooperative. Call 256-678-7036. The Brewers Cooperative.
Hey, Huntsville. Looking for action-packed events? The Huntsville Sports Commission is your hub for all things sports. From youth events to national tournaments, we've got events that thrill and inspire. Whether you're an athlete, a fan, or a volunteer, there's something for everyone. Cheer on your favorite teams, witness amazing talent, and be a part of the excitement. Check out our event calendar and get involved at huntsvillesports.com. That's huntsvillesports.com. Be there, Huntsville.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's Daily Update on Bama Sports and is brought to you by Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On yesterday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we were joined by Alabama running back Jam Miller.
What do you liked about this offense so far this year? This offense is great this year. You know, Coach DeBoer brought his staff, his new staff that he had in Washington, and probably like a few other guys he brought from the side other schools. But, you know, like the new staff here, we all love them. You know, ain't nothing really changed from Coach Saban era and Coach DeBoer. You know, everything the same. You know, we're here to win.
When you heard that Coach DeBoer was going to be the new head coach of the Tide, you knew as well Coach Sheridan comes over. What'd you start to study about Washington's offense and how they use the running backs?
Oh, they use their running backs great. You know, not even only in the backfield, but they also, you know, put them out a slot, you know, receiver, anything, and let them run a few routes. And, you know, from like, of course, Saban, we ran a few routes out of the backfield, but like Coach DeBoer, you know, this kind of pretty new for us.
I'll have more in a moment.
Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965 by Hal and Melissa Guthrie, Guthrie's was America's first chicken finger restaurant. Guthrie still uses the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe in every chicken finger they serve. Fresh, hot, and fast. Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers has been Alabama owned and operated since 1965, and Guthrie's is still growing strong. Come see us soon. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant, and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
If you missed any of yesterday's Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, catch it on demand on the Alabama Insider podcast, as well as all CTSN social media platforms. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And there you go. There you have it. We are back. We are live. It is another brand new live edition of Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Happy Friday morning. We have made it to the end of the week. It is week 0 of the high school and college football seasons. Last night, the football season got underway in earnest on the high school level, and boy, oh boy, right out of the gates did we have some great matchups last night. Over at Madison City School Stadium, Bob Jones entertaining Coleman last night, and Bob Jones would get a 90-yard touchdown reception from Rice Dorsey on the first play of the game. Bob Jones runs away from Coleman 48-12. Johnny Jackson had himself a night at quarterback for the Patriots. 6 touchdowns on the night, 5 through the air, 1 on the ground. Bob Jones, again, they're a winner last night over Coleman 48-12. Class 6A 8th-ranked Muscle Shoals, they go on the road last night. They take on 9th-ranked Gadsden City, a top 10 6A matchup to start the year. The Trojans will lead 14-7 at the half. Gadsden City, though, goes on to get a win 33-28 over Muscle Shoals. Priceville blanks Columbia 68-0. Geraldine, they open up the year. They're ranked number 6 in Class 3A. They get a 35-6 win over Sardis. Spring Garden gets by Sandrock 41-7 last night. So the action has started for high school football, and the action will continue tonight. And oh my goodness, you look at the matchups, and these are non-region matchups, but boy, oh boy, are they just going to entertain us in week 0.
Oh, they really are, and congratulations to Kelvis White and Bob Jones, man. That was super impressive. The aerial show they put on against Coleman.
They have a new offensive coordinator over there for the Patriots this year.
Right. So, I don't know. We always talk about food and music on this show. I don't know. I think what was the old lyric? Except you'd have to change it to, I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson, I am for real.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yeah, there you go.
I am for real. Never
Exactly.
meant to make you. I just want you. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. We're trying. We've got the beat, kind of.
We do. We know where we're going with it.
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
don't want us to go with it.
But yeah, it just
Yes.
we're not exactly singers on this show. We're not good. We're not.
Why we turn to the YouTube because we ain't singing.
Except we just have to say,
Yes.
Mr. Jackson.
Yes,
Sorry,
Miss
Mr. Jackson. I am for real. Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go.
He
That's
probably made his father cry, but in a good way.
He did. But good night there. Good night for Bob. Good night for Bob Jones. Now, listen, here you go. So if you want to be a part of tonight, we'll run down the games tonight. But the scoreboard show is official. It is locked in. It is official. It is the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware.
No, I'm really gonna have to work on that. I was informed of this last night. Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware in the house.
Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware. By the way, they are locally owned. Yes, they got the Ace Hardware. They're part of the Ace Hardware family,
right?
But they are locally owned, and I'm going to tell you right now, they are the nicest people ever.
Nice.
The nicest people ever, and I mean it's
support.
Fantastic. They are so excited to be a part of this. And we welcome them into the scoreboard show, into our family and everything. But, man, it is the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware.
Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware. Okay,
Yes.
got to get that correct. So we're looking forward to that. And
We just made the name even longer. We just wanted to add more words to it.
Yeah, so powered by the Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware, right?
Yeah, powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware.
Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware,
Yes,
correct.
Lake
yes.
Gunnersville Ace Hardware.
Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware. We appreciate their support being on board this year as a sponsor.
But all of the interviews that we do during all of our coaches' interviews are brought to you by the Huntsville Sports Commission.
Okay, that's the role of the Huntsville Sports Commission.
Yes, we've got more a part of it.
Speaking of coaches, we're loaded with this show this morning.
We are. And those are SportsMed helping us with a few.
Yes,
of them.
exactly. Two of those, Louis LeBlanc and of course Bob Godsey. Yeah, they are
like
brought
NASCAR over
Yeah.
here. We have to get
They are brought to you by SportsMed Surgery and Spine Center.
SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine
There you go. And Scott
dedicated
added
to
that.
providing care that improves lives.
There you go.
I think we paid the bills.
Yeah, we're paying the bills. Got to pay them.
Anyway, coming your way tonight. Now, if you want to be a part of the 97.7 ESPN The Zone streaming network, we invite you to do so as well. Plenty to keep an eye on there. Buckhorn, entertaining Decatur. John Ritter era getting underway at Decatur. So we'll see if he can bring some of that Russellville magic to the to the River City.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have for a fourth-ranked Madison Academy. This is a sneaky one. I think this is a very, very sneaky week 0
One of the best
game.
matchups in North Alabama.
Yeah, 3A fifth-ranked Mars Hill Bible coming over to take on Madison Academy tonight. That one's going to be on 97.7 ESPN The Zone 2. That's a sneaky one.
Yeah, well, that's a rematch of a second-round playoff game that was won in classic fashion by Bob Godsey's Madison Academy Mustangs a year ago. We all know that these are two programs that compete for state championships year in and year out and are ranked every season. I got to give both coaches credit for stepping up to play this game. It's not a region game, as we know, and they're not in the same class anymore, but certainly two outstanding football programs. And we know what a special senior class both of these teams had a year ago, but now they're trying to reload and go after another state championship on both sides. And it'll be a great crowd out at Bill Washington Stadium. That's where the scene of the playoff game occurred because Mars Hill traveled to Madison Academy last year. So it's going to be, along with that game you just reiterated, the huge win. Congrats on the big second half for Gadsden City to get that 33-28 win over Muscle Shoals. It's going to be that kind of game, probably who has the ball last. And so that's going to be an exciting one, no question about it. And another sneaky one to me is the Randolph Raiders. I know they only went 6-5 a year ago,
Right.
but they have a lot of skill players back and some good young talent like Will Perkins, a freshman to watch. And then they will be at Sports Midfield taking on Drew Phillips and West Morgan, which has kind of become a little bit of a rivalry. Good, no bad
Good
blood.
opening season
Extreme
matchup.
respect on both sides by those coaching staffs. And West Morgan had a very, very good team last year. One of the best teams I saw all season. And as they beat the Randolph Raiders. So Randolph at Sports Midfield will take on West Morgan. And then Huntsville Crimson Panthers, first game under Jimmy Gay, and they will travel to Hazel Green, and it'll be Fred Ferrier's first game. Yeah. 2 first-year coaches trying to get off to a pretty good start there, Scott. So we're going to have some outstanding matchups. Yep. And in addition to, Westminster and Louis LeBlanc coming off their best year in school history, and they will host the East Limestone Indians. So it's going to be
Will
full
Johnson
slate.
Kicking off the era there at East Limestone. So there's a bunch of new faces in new places as far as high school football coaches go. You can hear that Westminster Christian Academy game on 97.7 ESPN.
Welcome to the network, guys.
Yep. And then the Sparkman Senators are traveling to take on Spain Park and have their hands full in that opener. That's going to be on 97.7 ESPN, the Zone 4. So
you'll be listening to Randolph. It'll be the Bandy Man and our new colleague, Tyler Johnson, the former head coach at New Hope. He's going to be doing the color tonight for the Randolph Raiders. And then Logan Barandas, I believe I'm saying that correctly, and Jimmy Lay will bring you the action over at Westminster. So we're excited for that.
All right, so there is some high school football for you. If you want to pay attention, there are so many good games going on. Madison City School Stadium, the lights will be on there. James Clemens is going to entertain Gardendale.
That's another sneaky one. You're talking about that yesterday.
Gardendale can come up and bite some people.
They've got Kelby Collins at Florida, man. They've got talent. They've got guys scattered throughout college football. So they're always good. And as Chad McGee told us at Media Day, Scott, when we had our second annual high school football media day where we had all 17 schools, private and public, from the Huntsville, Madison County area. They want to find out how good they are. They are perennially the favorite in 7A Region 4, but his schedule out of region is always very difficult and certainly not going to be easy over at Madison City School Stadium tonight as they take on the Gardendale Rockets.
If you're cruising up and down the Parkway around 7 o'clock tonight and you see the lights on over at Joe Davis Stadium, just swing on in.
Yeah.
And you can see Grissom and Lee, or Milton Frank, I should say. That one's at Milton Frank.
Grissom and Lee at Milton Frank,
if you see the lights on at Milton Frank. Now, if you are seeing the lights on at Joe Davis, it's because May Jemison and Athens are taking on each other.
Cody Gross and Rico White, man.
Yeah.
Getting ready to lock it up. It's a nice matchup over at the newly renovated, I'm still saying that, Joe Davis Stadium. It's a palatial digs now. And then, of course, as you said, Milton Frank Stadium, a all-city matchup with the Grissom Tigers and Rich Dutton. Numbers on the helmets, man. They got a little bit different look this year.
Really?
Yeah, some numbers on the helmets and the Lee Generals. And we love Irving McGuire. I know you feature him quite a bit on the coach's interview after the game, brought to you by the Huntsville Sports Commission. Paying them bills.
We need a little cash register sign. Ding, ding. Every time that we but anyway, I'm looking down the list tonight and it's just fun because it's week 0 of the high school football season. I'm looking down the list and I'm looking at some of the games. These two used to be region foes when they were in Class 6A. Hartzell is entertaining Austin tonight. Now they are not region foes. Austin, of course, is in Class 7A Region 4. Hartzell, Class 6A Region 7. They're not region foes anymore, but that's still going to be a great matchup there in Hartzell. I believe and Hartzell's kicking off a new era as well
Newton,
tonight.
Yeah, Bert Newton, defensive coordinator, taking over there his first game at Hartzell, and that will definitely check your oil. As a prominent head coach, that's another old quip we've got, that will be Hartzell and Austin. As Austin and Jeremy Perkins are certainly on the short list of favorites in 7A Region 4, and we all know year in and year out the Hartzell Tigers are very, very consistent, no question about that, and we are excited to see them take the field in the new Bert Newton era as he has taken over for the Tigers.
West Limestone going to entertain Ardmore tonight. That's a matchup we're keeping an eye on. We also have Whitesburg Christian Academy.
The first game for Jared Adcock. I saw them outside yesterday as I was driving by the palatial campus there, and
they're going to entertain Cleveland tonight. Now, don't forget, that one is at Madison County Field.
Right.
I believe that's at the elementary. Well, it says Madison County Field, but I believe they play at
the elementary school. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
there in Gurley.
Yeah, because I don't know if Chris Hancock. I don't think he could share the palatial digs over there at Madison County High School with WCA. I mean,
they're at Sardis tonight. By the way, the Chris Hancock era for Madison County gets underway in Sardis. So. Or Boaz, my bad.
But Boaz, I was going to say, same city. So Sardis is licking their wounds from last night.
Yeah, Sardis ain't playing 2 games.
But that's that's like in the backyard there, though.
Yeah, it is. All right, so there's some high school football for you as we get started. Let's get our first break in. When we come back, we got some college football to talk about. Oh, Miami of Ohio. They're only relevant when they say dumb things.
Boo, hoo, hoo.
We'll talk about it next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Apparently, there is a wreck on County Line near Highway 20. They're updating it to an injury type. One in Athens, 72 westbound near 31. One in Moulton in Lawrence County, 24 and 33. Still got a slow go coming out of Decatur. They had a wreck there at the 3120Y that was causing headaches. Looks like they're just about ready to clear it. And we had Governors in Bassett, an overturned truck. That one had an injury involved as well. Snelling needs an experienced accountant in Decatur. It's a growing company with great benefits. Snelling, how the area's best companies hire talent. Huntsville.snelling.com. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked the reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Attention, attention, may I have the camp's attention?
Your home of the college football playoffs.
Playoffs?
Is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Playoffs?
welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN, the Storm Zone. I want to say the college football world was hit by a storm yesterday. And in case you missed it, Miami of Ohio head coach Chuck Martin,
Boo-hoo.
in his mind, kept it real yesterday.
Right. Special teams, lost your kicker. Carter McLaughlin.
He's at. We didn't lose him. He's at Alabama. We know
Yeah,
exactly.
I understand
We know exactly
that.
where he's at. Like you media people, it's all pretend. Like no, Alabama stole our kicker.
Yes,
they illegally
Why
recruited
do you
our.
want to say it,
They
Coach?
illegally recruited our kicker and stole him from us, and like that's a fact. But that's but we act like it's not. We live in this la la world. Like hey, let's not talk. I don't know why
Here we
everybody knows
go.
what's going on. So yeah, Alabama stole our kicker. A couple
Got a good one right
couple
now.
other schools tried to steal it, but then they okay. What's the
Let's
question?
talk.
Now, Kalen DeBoer was asked about those comments last night and basically said, no, we did everything the right way.
He went into the portal and then they contacted him for crying out loud. You know, I mean, I'm sure everything was clean with Caleb Downs and the Sucks, right? And then Amari Nyblack and we now know Isaiah Bond's driving a friggin' Lamborghini. Everything was clean there too, right? Boo-hoo-hoo. It's Miami of Ohio and Alabama. There's a big gulf, a big difference, everybody.
There is.
You're not playing in front of 2 dogs and a cat at Miami of Ohio.
And it's the Lou Groza Award winner.
Yes, he had a great career there at Miami of Ohio. That coaching staff did a great job developing him. Believe he has his degree, though. So you can go ahead and go in the portal and use your last year of eligibility at the University of Alabama, the greatest football program in history. You know, I'm sorry. I mean, cry me a river here. Big Ben ain't walking through that door at Miami of Ohio again right now, okay? Hell, if he had played in that era, Big Ben ain't finishing at Miami of Ohio. You understand?
Oh, that's a good point.
He might have been the quarterback at the University of Alabama. Then think of what happened there.
You know, you bring up the fact that he wouldn't have finished. Think about
Ben
this.
Roethlisberger, we're talking about, everybody.
Think about this. Think if Randy Moss. I know he was at Florida State and in Notre Dame, and then
Notre Dame, Florida State, and then he ended up at Marshall. Yeah.
But just think about this: if Randy Moss had been in the NIL era, he probably would not have finished at Marshall.
I mean, hell no.
He would have.
Would
have finished his career. He would have been able to get back to. It was not the Power 5 then, or the Group of 5, or Group of 4, or Power 4, or whatever the hell it is. He would have finished somewhere else, but he would have gotten a chance to get back there.
Yeah, Butch Davis probably would have found a way to import him to Miami or something, man.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, and I still say Randy Moss was the greatest high school receiver ever and the most talented wide receiver to ever play football. Was he the best? Got to give that to, as Michael Irvin would call him, Jesus in cleats, and that is Jerry Rice, the incomparable Jerry Rice. But after Jerry Rice, you know, Moss is on the short list as far as just talent from a 6'4", 6'5", 40-inch vertical leap, 4.4 40, great hands, body control, freakazoid. You know, nobody was more talented than Randy Moss. Nobody.
Yeah, and he would not have finished at Marshall. He would have been
else. If he had stayed out of trouble at Florida State, he would have won the national championship in '99, and then he would have won the Heisman Trophy. He is too talented. I mean, and then he would have been either the first pick in the draft. Look, let's just be honest. He's about 10 times better than Keyshawn Johnson, okay? And that guy went first overall. I'm sorry. I mean, Keyshawn would raise hell right now. He couldn't clean Randy Moss's bathroom, man. I'm sorry right here. I hope I didn't mess the camera up, but that's the truth.
No.
And that guy went number 1 overall. There's no way in hell on his best day that he was better than Randy Moss.
Oh,
that guy's not better than Randy Moss.
Who is that guy?
A.J. Brown.
Oh, A.J. Brown. No, he's average. He's good, but he's
really good. And so is this McLaurin guy. Just caught it, but
no,
I'm sorry.
They're not on Randy Moss's
was.
level. They're not in that category.
Forget it.
No. All right, 256-576-4977. That's how you can, because Randy Moss wasn't afraid to get hit, though, either. A lot of these wide receivers now are You know,
as he used to say, dog, if I throw my hands up, just throw it as far as you can because you can't overthrow me.
Right. 256-576-4977. You got time to be a part of the program this morning. Brandon is with us. Good morning, Brandon.
Morning. So is Drew going to start singing the Ace Hardware jingle now?
I've got to figure that one out too. That's another song we're gonna have to figure out here.
Ace is the helpful hardware.
What
What is that?
Frank Caliendo should be on here. Didn't John Madden used to do Ace Hardware?
I don't know.
I thought he did. Didn't he, Brandon?
I think he's done so many voices. The one where he did Morgan Freeman, where he's talking about slapping people around, might be the greatest of all time.
I know, but I'm just saying. I believe Madden used to be a pitchman for Ace Hardware. I thought.
Police with the helpful hardware, folks.
There we go.
Ace is the police with the helpful hardware, folks.
There we go. Ace is the helpful place with the hardware, folks.
From Lake Gunnersville.
Now,
Lake Gunnersville. Yes.
Now he did there was a Mad TV where John Madden did a like a 2.5-minute sketch, but I can't remember if that one's TV friendly. That was like last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, so early in my life. So, but if Drew just says supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, we know what he means. He's trying to say the whole Huntsville Powered Sports Commission, Ace Hardware. I'll know what he's talking about if he says
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. There you go.
Wow, look at you, Miss Mary Poppins.
That was that band you weren't even alive, brother.
Have you not seen Mary Poppins?
Okay. Well, you have though. It's a classic.
He probably did when he was 5 and he don't remember.
Why, hell, I don't either. I haven't seen it in 30 years, but it's there. Lets the medicine go down. I had to take some medicine this morning.
Full of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Yeah, there you go.
Go down. Medicine
hell,
go down.
this is like Scott karaoke day today, man.
Bad.
I have an awesome idea.
Oh, Lord.
For a hardware commercial that I'm going to send to Scott later. It's awesome. I swear. Y'all think Talent, Heat, and Air was good. This one, I don't know. You might not be able to do it, so it might be a little too racy.
We're cooking some things up for Talent, Heating, and Air. Literally cooking.
Heck, we even had Chuck Oliver on this show yesterday bring up Buford T. Justice. It was epic.
Yeah, and he didn't even do it because he knew that we liked
Smokey and the Bandit.
He did it just because well, it's what everybody should do.
Yeah, exactly. So, Brandon, where are you headed tonight, man?
I'm gonna go over to Darlington. We played last night, and my buddy's the head coach over there, so I'm gonna go over there and fool around a little bit tonight. And then some pretty big games gonna be on Fox 5 TV here tonight. But man, without saying too much, now causing too much trouble, these quarterbacks in high school have got to get under center at some point. I watched a football game last night. There wasn't a single snap taken under center the entire football game.
You talking about Grayson and Thompson?
Well,
I don't see too many high schools anymore these days do that.
You don't
all together. I mean, it's
pretty much
everything is all
shotgun
in the
or
shotgun.
the pistol.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here watching, and I'm like, how do you run an offense like this, and then you put guys in college and you put them in the pros, and they can't take a snap under center? They're not used to it. They're not used to being up that close to the line of scrimmage and having to read a defense from that close and either turn around and hand the ball off or take a one-step drop and get a pass out really quickly. I don't understand it. I don't know how we've got to this point of where you got to snap the ball 5 yards deep all the time. I understand if you're a shorter quarterback that it helps you, but at some point being up on the line of scrimmage, looking around, reading the defense, you got to be able to do it. And that's why I feel like a lot of these guys, when they get to the NFL, it's not bad for them to sit because they've still got a lot to learn about how to play ball that way versus what they've been programmed in college and high school. Because if you can't take snaps under center in the NFL, you're screwed.
That's what, who was it? I think Tom Brady said something about it the other day that either Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, one of the two, said something about quarterback and the development and the fact that they're going through high school, they're going through college, and when they get to the NFL level, the NFL coaches have dumbed down the offenses so much. I think it was Tom Brady that the NFL has dumbed down the offenses so much that quarterbacks used to come in and they were swimming. They were trying just to stay afloat because the offenses were complicated. They were tougher. You were having to go under center. You were having to learn so much. And now the NFL coaches have dumbed down the offenses to fit around these quarterbacks that come in that just don't know what they're doing and how to play. They've modified it so much that they have stepped down to the quarterback level versus having stepped up to the NFL level.
Because if you can't take a snap under center, how in the world are you going to recite all that crap that's in the West Coast offense? Z slant 2-5 right tight X. I mean, you got to be able to do the basics. So it just amazes me, and I wonder tonight when y'all are watching games and y'all are calling games, watch and see how many snaps you see under center for either team.
Yeah, not going
to be very many.
Yep.
Appreciate it, Brandon.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Brandon.
Friday Night Lights, man.
Ace is the place.
For the helpful hardware people. Oh my Lord!
I know. It's just in my head.
Gunners, the lace hardware.
Louis LeBlanc might be able to sing it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna make it. He can imitate Joe Cons. We're not gonna make him do that though. It's epic too.
He might be able to. I don't know. Anyway, we've got to get a break in. When we come back, Louis LeBlanc will join us. Westminster Christian Academy head football coach joins us next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing consistently into the lower 90s across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. We're also going to be just a touch on the humid end of the spectrum. We drop into the low and mid 60s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 90s. Not a drop of rain in the forecast as we head into the front half of the weekend. We drop into the mid and upper 60s through the overnight. A mostly sunny sky on Sunday. Going to be a little bit warmer. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Now, Recon County line southbound near Madison Boulevard. That one is an injury type. 72 westbound at 31 in Athens are working to clear. One in Lawrence County, 24 and 33 in Moulton. Same situation there. 3120Y on the north side of Decatur looks good now. Governors in Bassett, we had an overturned truck. I haven't heard an update on that one. That one did have minor injury involved. Do you know who to call when you need a heart doctor? You could write this name down now so you have it in the future. Dr. Randall Burns is at Huntsville Heart Specialist on Bob Wallace Avenue, where they have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
It's the dawning of a new age in Tuscaloosa.
I understand what Alabama football is all about. Roll time.
Join the Crimson Tide as the Kalen DuBois era begins. Touchdown! Join us Saturday, August 31st as the Crimson Tide kick off the 2024 season at home against the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers on your home for Alabama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
I got rice cooking in the microwave. Got a 3-day beer.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome back into the program on a Friday morning. Of course, this interview being brought to you by our very good friends over at SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. The official training providers for the Rocket City Trash Pandas and the UAH Chargers. See, I've said that a bunch of times, so it rolls right off the tongue. The Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware, is still flowing. It's starting to go, but it's not quite there yet.
And
but we'll get there by tonight.
I know what is flowing, and that's Louis LeBlanc's program. It's doing a great job over there at Westminster Christian Academy. The Wildcats will take the field tonight over on their palatial campus against the East Limestone Indians. It'll be the first game for Will Johnson as he has taken over for our good friend Clint Woodfin, who is now an assistant principal at Bob Jones High School. He's moved into administration, but Will Johnson taking over the reins, and he will bring his Indians to face Louis LeBlanc and the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats, who are coming off an 11-3 semifinal run last year in the playoffs. The best season in school history. Brandon Mush, now at Charleston Southern, one of the greatest players, not just in Westminster history, if not the greatest, but in AHSAA history for what he's done. But now we've got a new addition, and they're coming off of a jamboree win at Haleyville last week, and Louis LeBlanc has been kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, you're with Drew and Scott this morning, and welcome to our high school streaming network. We're honored to be the home of the Wildcats now, Coach.
Oh, good morning. It's exciting, man. So thankful to be a part of what you guys are doing for high school football and able to have our games broadcasted. Man, that's a big deal for our young men.
It really is.
Well, Coach, let's talk about it. When they drop in on the broadcast tonight, what are we going to hear?
Well, hopefully you're going to hear a lot of good things for the Wildcats. We did lose Brandon Mush, and guy's been a staple for us for 4 years. Phenomenal on and off the field, but really excited about the guys we have this year, the guys that are picking up the torch and running. Houston Scott will be leading that charge at quarterback, a completely different type of player, but a similar young man in his work ethic and his humility and his leadership style. So excited to see him take the reins.
Yeah, no doubt. Houston Scott, a big 6'4", 6'5", tall drink of water that's going to be taking those snaps from center, Coach. And I know you guys went on the road due to the and then thoughts and prayers to the Westminster Christian Academy family. I know a longtime member of your faculty passed away, and a lot of people were paying homage to him. That's why you guys traveled to Haleyville. But how did you think your team responded on the road in that dress rehearsal before you take the field tonight?
I was really proud of them. I appreciate what you had to say about our teacher, Mr. David Hammond,
yes.
Part of our faculty here for 50 years, and
wow. 50
years. Touched many lives and was a phenomenal mentor. And so when that happened, we had to shift and alter our plans, and I felt like the guys handled it really well. We got to Haleyville a little late because we all went to the visitation, and it was nice to see the guys, one, pay their respects for the family, but then to see them switch into travel mode, get there late, alter how we do away games, and then handle their business. And then we started fast. We always want to start fast. It's always a concern as a coach. You just worry about jitters and nervousness and guys thinking about other things. But we started fast on both sides of the ball, played well. I couldn't have been happier for the guys, especially with so many new faces on the field. Really a testament to my coaching staff and what they do with these young men. They are locked in and love these kids and see what they can do personally and try to maximize it. And it just got me excited to see that at the Jamboree.
As far as X's and O's go, as far as getting everybody in the right positions and everything going, what did you learn from your team as far as position-wise and everything else going from that Jamboree?
Well, we saw guys make plays that we had been anticipating all summer, guys that had done it maybe in some of our practices with other teams this summer. And so a lot of people ask me, were you surprised? And I really wasn't. I felt like the guys that we've evaluated and tried to place in positions did what we thought they could do, and that's why they're there. We do something unique here with how we manage our team and how we place people into positions, and takes the summer to kind of evaluate and see if we're right. We're not always right, but really was glad to see the young men using their skill set to the best of their ability to help the team. Obviously, there's some things that we've changed and some little wrinkles that we've added, And so it's an ongoing process for us. We believe that for us to be successful here, we can't be the same team in week 10 that we are in week 1. So we've got to constantly be learning and growing and adding to what we're doing, and not just improving what we're doing, but adding to it. And that includes what we're doing with the roster. So great start, I believe, and give us a really great foundation to keep building.
Yeah, no doubt. Westminster Christian Academy will compete in 4A Region 8 this year as they look to try to win a back-to-back region championship. It was certainly an outstanding accomplishment a year ago when winning the region champ title and then making the deep playoff run to the semis. But, Coach, as you've opened practice and prepared this team, for their journey, where have you seen them grow the most now? That you've had them for just over a month preparing them for this moment. You took them through the dress rehearsal, but now it's for real tonight.
Anytime you lose a group of seniors like we had last year, that many of them started from the 9th grade on because they, some of them were good enough to start, some of them had to start because there was nobody else, but they were able to lead for 4 years. And so anytime you lose that, you create a vacuum, and you always worry as a coach who's going to fill that leadership vacuum. And so when you have guys that have led for so long, that means you have guys that have been led for a long time, and maybe they're not quite certain how to lead because they've always depended on the guys in front of them. But I think the guys grew so much from the first day we had them on June 3rd to now, where they stopped looking around for those other guys, and they realize they're the ones that the mantle of leadership is falling on. And so we've had a mantra around here. It's an acronym for the word win. It's what's important now. And we say the moment is what's important now. And so we want to win the moment and be in the moment with our team. And so I feel like the coaches have done a phenomenal job over the years of amplifying that message. And we need it now more than ever, losing such a great player as Mush and the guys that were around him. And then, that leadership vacuum I mentioned. What's important now? You're the leadership that this team needs. So step up into it. Let's win that moment. And I feel like the kids have embraced that and done that.
Tonight you get East Limestone. East Limestone comes in with a new head coach and Will Johnson, I believe a first-year head coach as well. How do you prepare for a team that it might be something if the guy has coached before, you can kind of pick up on some past film. How do you prepare for an East Limestone team that you may not know a lot about?
Well, it's really tough, and anytime a team gets a new coach, it's always a wild card, right? And so you try to do your research, see where he's coached before, see what style of offense or defense that he was a part of, and but you never know. So it's a testament again to how important the fundamentals are, and we focus a lot on the fundamentals, and so this game is for us is going to be all about that because we really don't have a clue. When we go out there, we're going to have to see and adjust and make changes as needed, and maybe in flight, and so it's kind of exciting. It's also, to me, this is what's special about high school football with a college program getting a new coach. There's so much hype about it. There's articles all over the place. There's press at the practice. You could pretty much figure out what somebody's going to do. It's hard to keep secrets in college, but in high school, you don't have all that. And so it makes it exciting for sure.
Yeah, no question. And speaking of growth, football is a line of scrimmage game, Louis. You guys had great offensive and defensive lines a year ago, and I had a chance to watch you play. That was another reason Brandon Mush was so successful, is the way you were able to protect him and then get after the quarterback. You guys rushed it really well. I know your son Bennett is a guy that's developing, and that's another thing. It's hard to believe you're going into year 9 here at Westminster, but you guys have just improved every year. The physicality, the size along the line of scrimmage. And I thought last year you guys controlled the line of scrimmage, and that'll be another key tonight in getting off to a good start.
Oh, without a doubt. We recognized that the strength of our team going into summer was going to be the offensive line because they had the most stability, 4 returning starters. And this will be their 3rd year as starters. And so that's exciting, to see that. It's definitely exciting when you got a brand new backfield. So it's nice to have that experience on the O-line, that stability. Those guys are a unit. They're accustomed to working together. They're probably, everyone's favorite group on the team. The O-linemen are unique anyway, but they're just a great group. They love being offensive linemen. Coach Riley does a phenomenal job, and those guys have fun being offensive linemen. So it's no doubt that they've gotten better because of time, but they've also gotten better because of the culture that they have in the O-line meeting room. It's really cool to see them and see how they're kind of the heartbeat of the team, and love those guys and what they do, and how they embrace the challenge of being an offensive lineman.
Coach, what's that one big key for tonight's game?
Wow. We have to be able to make adjustments, and that's true for us every week,
right?
But especially not knowing what we're going to see, we have to make adjustments, and then we have to protect the football. Anytime, like I said, that you've got a new quarterback, a new running back, and new receivers on the field, it's pretty harrowing, right? As a coach, you go out there with a lot of untested guys, and so protecting the ball is going to be enormous for us. And then creating takeaways on defense. We got a fumble recovery last week. We forced another fumble, a little controversial, right at the goal line. They gave him a touchdown at Haleyville, but we forced a fumble there, and then we got a pick to end the game. So our defense has been flying around and protecting the ball and taking the ball away. And we did have a turnover last week late in the jamboree with the JV in. So something we don't want to repeat there. But I know it may sound like coach speak, but our ability to adjust and our ability to protect the football and get that football is going to be big in a game like this where there's so many unknowns.
Really is. And Coach, I know you mentioned Houston Scott. You're very excited about him and taking the snaps behind center and taking that baton from Brandon Mush. Who's somebody that you're excited to see perform defensively that has stepped up for you in camp so far?
I get excited about Carson Tinsley. He was a young man that was at linebacker for us last year. He got hurt a little early in the season with a little nagging knee injury, and then came back and played strong for us, and then got hurt in the playoffs. And so to see him fight back, and he's our kicker, our punter, and he's a Sam linebacker for us. He's a dynamic player. So I'm excited to see him. He's number 0. He switched numbers to 0 this year. He's going to be a disruptive force on defense. And then Chance Sylvester at defensive end, you're going to notice him immediately. He's done a lot of work in the offseason to get stronger, to get quicker. He is a disruptive force also on that defensive line, and just plays like a maniac. And you kind of like that when he's on the defensive line, and he commands attention. And so that's something that I think people will notice right out of the gate. He is number 1. So 0 and 1, I think you're going to see a lot of them. And I'll be honest with you, I love our secondary. Our secondary flies around to the ball. The guys are quick. They're agile. They like to get after it. They enjoy playing the position, and they understand the position. And we've got a bevy of guys back there that do a phenomenal job, from Isaiah Shingleton, who's a senior, to Jaden Cooley, Bryson Cumberlander, Landon Shackelford, Tyler Kaufman, Davis Hollingsworth. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that have an opportunity to set the tone back there. So excited for them too.
Well, I'm excited to see 2-3. I know he can get after the quarterback. I watched that last year, second and third effort.
Well, number 23.
Yeah, Evan McClure.
Well, so he got moved to running back. So
now he's going to bring the thunder on offense here. Here we go.
Yeah, we had to losing a running back from last year, losing 1,200 yards. We had to do something. And Evan wrestled in the offseason. He ran track in the spring. He's gotten quicker, leaner. He's a strong kid. The same tenacity that you see him rushing the passer.
Oh, wow.
What made my eyes go to him and say, we need somebody to replace Henry Claunch. And man, I kind of like the way Evan plays the game. I think he's the kind of kid that if he gets hit hard, he's going to take it personal and want the ball again immediately so he can remedy that, And as opposed to a guy that maybe looks for a place to hide after a big hit. And Henry was such a tough back for us in pass protection and short yardage and run situations. And I think Evan has that same focus. And so excited about him. He had a great game last week, busted a 65-yard run. And then his first carry from scrimmage, I think, was about 14 or 15 yards. And pretty nice for a kid that's never played running back. And he's picked up the mantle of that position and carried it, and they're doing a fine job.
Well, we're excited about it. Logan Baranas and, of course, Jimmy Lay on the call tonight on our streaming network for the first game for Westminster Christian Academy as part of 97.7 The Zone. We really appreciate it, Coach. Good luck to you, and we always enjoy talking some Westminster Wildcats with you.
Man, I love doing this. Thank you guys for the opportunity. You guys give high school coaches the best jobs in the world because we get to get on a platform like this and talk about our young men and their commitment, and I just appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Best of
Good
luck
luck tonight.
Thank you, man. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Head coach Louis LeBlanc. By the way, first ever meeting between East Limestone and Westminster Christian. First ever meeting between the two.
Yeah, we've learned the lesson there. You don't mention the East Limestone and West Limestone
Yeah.
together. I never forget doing that rivalry. And I asked somebody about the rivalry over at West Limestone. And they just said, who?
Who?
Yeah.
School up north.
Yeah.
Let's get a break and wrap up hour one next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
There still may be a little bit of slowdown in Athens around 72 and 31. That one had some westbound blockage. Should be about ready to clear, though. Maybe gone already. And we had a big backup southbound on County Line. Had a wreck there. Originally went out at Old Highway 20. They've upgraded it now. They say it's closer to Madison Boulevard. That one was an injury time. The 8th annual Bernard Blues and Barbecue Fest is coming September 7th and 8th next to Ave Maria Grotto at St. Bernard in Coleman. Arts and crafts, live music, great barbecue, a KC cook-off, and a $10,000 giveaway. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond, hour one, almost
flying by already.
Almost in the books. Yesterday, Kalen DeBoer, final press conference before we hear from him on game week. So I guess you could say the final fall camp press conference. And the coach was asked about what's been the biggest area of improvement for the Crimson Tide team in fall camp.
I like how consistent we've become here at the end. I thought, speaking with you also on Saturday, we talked about the physicality of it, flying around. I think we're in a good spot with, fall camp. You always worry about getting the legs back and things like that. I think, there's not a cumulative fatigue that's happened with our team. I think we're getting stronger, and but the consistency, both sides of the ball, don't feel like there's days where we come out and you just don't know what you're going to get. I think you know what you're going to get for the most part. And, it's some days, depending on the install, it might be better for one side of the ball or the other. But I know I'm going to get great effort, and know, that they're going to work together. Know that we can change tempos in practice, and they're going to be able to adjust, and they're going to listen. I challenged them in a big way for this session we just had out here. It's something I've seen happen over the years that with a lot of special teams and transitions it can fall apart on you. And these guys thrived, got done about 10 minutes earlier than I even expected. So I love that about them. Again, we got a lot of things that we got to always continue to work on. I tell them that every snap we play from beginning to end of the season, we're going to get better. And we got to, have a 1-0 mindset. You've probably heard that from them as well. But a 1-0 mindset, because every snap we're still learning. We're still learning a new system in all areas. And so I'm proud of the way they come to work every day. But that consistency has been something I'm proud of.
There you go. Consistency.
Yeah, and that's what they need. That in all three phases, you need to be well coached. You need to execute. We've talked about, Graham Nicholson and his edition. I know it was mostly woe is me from the other side, from Miami of Ohio.
It's an illegal edition.
But he's settling in, I think, at place kicker. You need some consistency there. And he's got huge shoes to fill when you're talking about Will Reichert, who's the greatest kicker in Alabama history, in my opinion, and the all-time leading scorer in college football history. Get him in the Hall of Fame. Please change these stupid rules. I mean, that's another soapbox moment.
Right.
But, it's just idiotic.
Well, look, Kurt Ferentz admitted that he did do a recruiting violation.
He did admit it.
He admitted it yesterday.
Okay.
So Kalen DeBoer just needs to admit that he did a recruiting violation with Graham Nicholson and just get it over with.
Just go play Miami of Ohio and beat them 65-3. You know what I'm saying? Just beat the hell out of them and send a message. Got any more players? We'll take them too. Sorry, cry me a river. It's the NIL era, man. Everybody's losing players. That's like nobody, like Miami of Ohio is being poached left and right. I mean, the kid had a great career there. He decided he wanted to use his last year of eligibility on the biggest stage. How can you blame him? Instead of whining about it, go find another kicker. I use the Trent Dilfer analogy. He was on with us last year and going into his first year at UAB, and he said in a lot of ways they understand that if they develop a player really well, they might lose them, and they're not going to begrudge it. Let's just continue to recruit well and have somebody ready to fill the shoes. Do the same thing at Miami of Ohio, okay? And then go play in the snow in front of 2 dogs and a cat.
There you go. We'll hear more from Kalen DeBoer as we kind of roll along on this Friday. A Friday that does see week 0 of the college and high school football season inch a little bit closer.
Hey, don't forget, man, we're about 36 hours away or so. It's the countdown has begun for UNA year 2 in Brent DeArmond.
We are 1 day, 4 hours, 3 minutes, and 9 seconds away
I knew he'd have it.
from the start of the college football season.
Yeah, in Ireland.
And you got to add, let's see here, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. Add about 7 hours to that. So really 1 day, 11 hours, 2 minutes, and 54 seconds away from UNA kicking off.
Yep.
So down there in the Crampton Bowl. Which, you know what, though? And we were talking about this yesterday. And Coach LeBlanc kind of referenced it a little bit. But remember last year, it was like 102 degrees or whatever at kickoff time for these high school football games.
The freaking
The
cleats were melting.
Yeah, turfs were melting last year. What a reprieve we have from the heat on tonight.
You would hope so, yeah. Hopefully a little wind too.
I mean, we're looking at 7 o'clock, 85 degrees.
Yeah, we are. And then Stifler's mom on the TV.
Oh yeah. What the hell is that?
I don't know. I just looked right.
Squirrel.
Exactly. We have fun on this show.
Yes, we do. Some people think we're on drugs.
I had some this morning. Not those kind of drugs.
I had some drugs.
Yeah.
Well, we admit it.
Yeah.
You're doing the broadcast. You're not playing, so you don't have to be drug tested. So
No, I
good.
would pass a drug test.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. This isn't Oregon.
Yeah.
My wife got back from Oregon and she told me, she goes, hey, we went downtown for dinner. And she goes, nothing like stepping over a crackhead.
Oh, Lord. I was going to say, she didn't get a
That's what she said.
I thought she was going to get like high off somebody else's smoke.
No, she said you can do that too.
Yeah.
He's like, wow. She goes, it's a whole different world out there.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The college football season starts tomorrow. The first game of the season features a ranked team, number 10, Florida State, battling Georgia Tech. The game at noon Eastern from Dublin, Ireland. Later that date, Montana State, 13.5-point favorites on the road at New Mexico. SMU favored by 25 on the road at Nevada. And in Honolulu, Hawaii by 40.5 against Delaware State. Getting down to crunch time for playoff positioning in Major League Baseball. The plus 240 Yankees, the favorite to win the American League pennant. The plus 160 Dodgers, the favorite in the National League. That's the VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I'm Chuck Sanders.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The fun rolls on here in hour number 2. Of course, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center helping provide care that improves lives, helping us sponsor hour number 2. But tonight we welcome a new member to our broadcast family, and that would be the Huntsville Crimson Panthers. And you moved from Randolph, from the booth in Randolph to the booth in Huntsville High. And tonight, the Jimmy Gay era officially gets underway.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Seal and I will be live at Hazel Green High School over there at the home of the Trojans as the Jimmy Gay era gets underway for the Huntsville Crimson Panthers. Super excited about it. Back after, a couple-year absence, looking forward to being back on the call with my alma mater at Huntsville High. Very excited about this opener. Saw them in their jamboree, had some bright moments last week against a solid Mortimer Jordan program. Now they will get started for good. This is the first real game, the first game that counts in the Jimmy Gay era, and he's been kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline this morning to talk some Huntsville Crimson Panthers. Coach, you're with Drew and Scott this morning on ESPN 97.7 The Zone. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I appreciate y'all having me on this morning.
Yes, sir. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, Coach, what's the nerves like? The players get them. We know they get them on game 1 or week 0 or whatever it is. They're excited, a little bit of nerves. For you, what's the nerve level going into your debut?
I don't know if it's nerves. I'm just excited to get it going. I'm excited for the band and cheerleaders to be out there and it to be a real football game. I was a little embarrassed about last week. Hopefully we made those corrections that we needed to during this last week of practice.
Yeah, no question, Coach. And I know you, the fundamentals are always very important. This will be your 9th year as a head coach. You spent time at Parrish, won a state championship there in the early 2000s, I believe in 2003. And then you were able to spend some time with John Holliday at, Jasper High School, which is now Jasper. And of course, people I always refer to it still sometimes as Walker County, but you were there with him. And then you were with Scott Baisden after a good run at Cordova as well. You and Scott Baisden built a powerhouse program, certainly over at Muscle Shoals. And just, so talk about kind of your vision for this Huntsville program now that you've had a chance to put this coaching staff together that you wanted. You guys didn't have spring practice. You started your work a little early in July. And I know when we talked to you at our high school football media day, you were really anxious to see your team in pads.
Oh, yeah. We started work. I got over here in March, and we started going, doing our 3 days a week in the morning, installing our offense and our defense. And the kids have been working real hard. One of the problems that we have here, I guess that just like a lot of other places, is just logistics. The facilities are not up to snuff, and it's just hard as far as coaches planning and trying to get all these kids where, the work that they need to be putting in, just lining them up. We've got a small weight room, and it's tough when you got 100-something kids trying to work them out. But other than that, everything's been going pretty good.
Well, Coach, when you mentioned and you kind of alluded to the scrimmage, and you kind of, felt like you guys left some stuff there on the table, needed to improve on, kind of go into a little bit more there. Well, what did you see from the film that says, okay, hey, look, we're headed in the right direction, but we got to clean up X, Y, and Z before we can get there?
One of the glaring things was the kicking game. We've got a lot of shoring up to do right there. Both our kickers, this is the first time, last week was the first time they have ever seen any live action football, other than practice. Obviously we got a lot of work to do there, making sure everybody's, as far as kickoff, running down their and staying in their lane. Defensively, we got a, pursuit of the ball, gang tackle. We took a lot of poor angles last night or against our game against Mortimer Jordan. Offensively, we just got to be more consistent. We had a lot of procedural mistakes. We've got to clean them up. We're not good enough to give anybody an inch. And when you're giving up offsides penalties and things like that, it's not very good.
Yes, sir. We're talking to Jimmy Gay, the first-year head football coach of the Huntsville Crimson Panthers. And, Coach, we saw 2 quarterbacks play last week. They're 2 young guys. Stone Lawless and Jax McClung both were very productive in their times as a starting quarterback for Huntsville. Both these guys have a lot of potential. Both of them made plays with their arm and with their legs. Will Carter, of course, started the ball game. Then we saw Wyatt Smith come in. What have you seen from the quarterback spot, and is that the competition still ongoing heading into this first game at Hazel Green?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. The competition is still ongoing. We've not decided on, we've not settled in on just one right now. Both of them brings different things to the table. We're just trying to find one that's going to fit with what we're doing right now. And we've been rolling both of them in at practice. We just need one of them to step up and take the reins.
Mm-hmm. Is that hard to try to balance the reps between both quarterbacks?
Not really. I've been at different places, and even in college, we we had a quarterback rotation that was in place.
Mm-hmm. And that can work, no question about it. Both guys bring skill sets to the table that can lead to success. Both had some success last week. And I thought also, Coach, that defensively, I know that you got to clean up, get some big plays that were given up. But I thought for the most part, your team did a really nice job competing against Mortimer Jordan. What did you see defensively that you liked last week that you're going to hoping carries over to tonight?
I thought our defensive line played very well. And our secondary played well in spots. We just got to be better tacklers and take better angles to the ball. Our linebacker play, it was in spots. It was okay. That needs to improve. But, overall, I think our defensive line is a bright spot for us.
Where else on the defensive side of the ball? What else do you like about this team?
Well, I tell you what, we've got a bunch of workers. They come every day and they put in the work. You got to appreciate that as a coach. And that's surprising. That was one of the things that was surprising to me when I got the job, that how readily that these kids had bought into it. I told the band director that I must be getting a little soft because we got more out for football than they do in the band. 9 through 12, we got a few more kids than what the band's marching. So I guess I might be getting a little soft.
Well, but I think it's exciting though, and these kids want to win. They certainly want to get to and compete for a playoff spot and compete for a 7A Region 4 championship. I know you don't know a lot about Hazel Green and Fred Ferrier. He's another first-year head coach. He was the longtime recruiting coordinator, running backs coach for Connell Manor at Alabama A&M. Coach, is it more about yourself tonight, or what do you know about the Trojans?
I really don't know. We got Charlie Wilburn was their head coach last year. He's over on our staff now. I know he's a phenomenal coach, and he brings a lot to the table. But it's like every week we want to concentrate on ourselves. We know we got to get better to be where we want to be, and it doesn't matter who you play. The amount of preparation that goes in every week is the same. Every week we're facing a team that this is the best team we are going to play, and that's the mentality we got to have regardless of who we play.
Mm-hmm.
So then, Coach, it's all about yourself tonight. Then give us a couple important keys then for tonight's game.
Say that again now.
What would be a couple good keys for tonight's game for you guys to get that win?
We've got to be fundamentally sound. We've got to block and tackle well. We've got to run to the football. For us, every week, the keys to victory will always remain the same. The team that plays the hardest for 48 minutes and makes the least amount of mistakes will win the game. Offense, you've got to hold on to the football. You got to take the fight to them. Defense, you've got to game tackle, pursuit of the ball. Kicking game, you've got to be sound and don't do anything stupid. No stupid penalties. So that, for us, every week, the keys to victory will always remain the same, and that's what we try to work towards.
And then, Coach, I know you love the line of scrimmage. You love the offensive and defensive line play. What did you think about overall your offensive line execution? I thought at times you guys ran the ball effectively against Mortimer Jordan. What did you see that you liked, and what needs to improve going into tonight?
Well, we played extremely too high on the offensive line of scrimmage. We've got to play lower, and I think this could be one of our strong points going into this year is our offensive line. But a lot of our aiming points were wrong, poor first step. You got to control the line of scrimmage, and I think physically we're going to be able to. But we had too many missed assignments, and missed assignments, those are coaching mistakes, and we've worked diligently this week to try to correct them.
Mm-hmm. And Coach, I know you. The key is also, I know you want to create some disruption and turnovers as well. A big play to get back in the game last week was a fumble you guys caused on the kickoff return that led to a score for your team to tie the game up in the second quarter. I thought your team responded well to get back in the game, play very competitively. And I know you were more working on yourselves, but the turnover battle is always going to be a key one tonight, especially on the road.
Oh, no doubt. Block punts and things like that, those are game-changing plays in a game. And you've got to create them, man. And one of the things that I'm very proud of, out of how bad we played last week was the kids played extremely hard. The players played extremely hard. I thought they fought through the whole game. They did not give up. A lot of times when things go bad and you're not used to winning, there's a lot of controversy that happens on the sideline, and there wasn't any of that. So that's one, that was one bright spot from last week's game.
And then, Coach, finally, before we let you go, I know you've touched on it, but and you're going into this game with Coach Ferry. You haven't seen their team, so it's going to be more about your guys being ready to play. What are maybe a key or two on offense and a key or two on defense to get this W and start off this era 1-0 before you start region play next week?
Well, number one, I think we got to be and just do what they're coached to do. They don't have to do anything special. They just got to play hard and do what they're coached to do, offense and defensively. We've got to hold on to the football on offense. We got to run the ball better. And also when we pass, we got to be efficient in our passing game. And I think those are pretty simple.
Yeah, no question. Got a couple of nice senior receivers out there that can be a big part of this offense. No question about it. Can make some plays and did a year ago. And let me correct myself. Region play will start with Grissom in week 3. They will be playing May Jemison in an all Huntsville City matchup next week. But the Hazel Green Trojans are tonight. Myself and Michael Seal will be on the call. We look forward to it. Coach, thank you so much for joining us and talking some Crimson Panther football. We look forward to speaking with you each week. And go Big Red, and we look forward to tonight. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I appreciate it, Drew. Go Big Red.
All right, let's get a break in. 256-576-4977. You can join us on the other side.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The only problem I'm seeing now is that one on County Line. It's actually at Madison Boulevard, or right where you get onto 565. They're diverting traffic onto Old Highway 20. So if you're trying to get onto 565, you're going to have to go out to Greenbrier and come down to 565 there. Everything else seems to be in good shape at this point. You be careful on the rest of your trip in. With more than 30 years experience, D&L Refrigeration can save you money on those heating and air conditioning repairs. 256-652-1207. State license 08091. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flosa Premier. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flo tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flo, think fun for everyone.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
This summer, make it a Woody Anderson Ford. Make it 0% financing, make it no down payment, and make no payments for 90 days. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's our Ford summer sales event, and I promise you can save serious dollars on a large selection of our 2024 Fords. We've got financing as low as 0% for 36 months on 2024 F-150, Explorer, Expedition, Edge, Escape, plus all-electric F-150 Lightning and Mustang Mach-E. And on all these Fords I just mentioned, you'll make no down payment and no payments for 90 days. Can you say Orange Beach, here we come? This is going to be a good summer. Come choose from over 550 new Fords, and you'll learn firsthand that nobody will work harder to earn your business. Brand new award-winning Fords with 0% financing, no down payment, and no payment for 90 days with your good credit. This offer ends 9/3/24. Come see us today and make it a Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
You want to get into some football?
The college football playoffs
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
and the national championship game all play right here.
Let's talk football.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We are back. We are live. We are talking ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, 820. On a Friday morning, we have made it into the end of the work week. That means we've got high school football. We have all kinds of stuff going on. We got college football. We got all kinds of stuff going on this week.
We've been singing jingles.
We have been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. In Ross Dellinger, we talk about week 0 of the college football season. And it almost like, okay, we get a few games this week. I mean, a few. We have a handful of games. And we have a handful of high school games. But on the college level, should they entertain the fact that instead of making it week 0, just make it week 1 and make it the start of the college football season? That everybody starts this week so that we move up the week of college football a little earlier, because Ross Dellinger points out that when they get to the playoffs, the college football playoffs will be going up against the NFL. Like, they will be playing on the same day.
Good.
And the NFL has countered by putting on some really good games. 2 of the 4 first-round playoff games on December 21st will be played at the same time as 2 regular season NFL games.
Well, this just means football all day. It should be heaven for everybody, man.
And so they're going to be competing for numbers. It's all about numbers.
Will they be going on at the same time?
Huh?
Are they going to be going on at the same time?
The exact same time. So you're going to get the Chiefs and Texans at noon.
Yeah, record it.
And then you're going to get the 3:30 game is the Steelers and Ravens.
All right, record that too.
That'll be going against college football. And Ross Dellinger says, you know what? Maybe if we put week 1 of the college football season now, instead of week 0, everyone starts playing this week, that they might be able to avoid that.
Well, maybe they'll do it. They always tweak things. We've seen it. We've seen the college football playoff, field tweaked. And to give more people a chance to get blown out.
One of the biggest scandals last year was the sign sealing scandal, right?
Yeah, with Michigan.
So I don't know.
The Michiganders.
So Arkansas defensive coordinator Travis Williams.
Is this the rap thing I saw yesterday? He was rapping somewhere.
This is Travis Williams. Talking about signs and stealing and everything else that goes on in a game.
Oh, a lot. Like, it's so funny. You'll be shocked. During the week, I know offense all around the country. they're going to get the TV copy, and they looking at the signals. Yeah, just one person. That's your only job. Look at the signals. And then, boom, oh, we can't get the defensive signals. Okay, well, let's see what the defensive players are signaling. Then they'll try to get it that way. So they got different ways. I remember we played Louisville, and he was really good. And I saw the TV copy, and I could just see the whole time he was just like this, just watching. And in the halftime, they got the signals. So we played him the next year. I was at UCF. We played him that next year, and I got his contact, and I called him. Like, hey, man, I need to. And he sent me the whole thing. He said, this is what we had. And it was like 80% correct. So we had to change our signals because they just pass it around. So they're just sending it to the next. So we played SMU and Rhett Lashley them, and they had the same signals. I wasn't mad that he sent it around. I would have been mad if we didn't change it. So it's huge, like just signals, and it's perfectly legal. I know teams right now that have two guys on the field because you usually have them in the box. So all the times you see a lot of these teams behind the actual team, they put out these big curtains behind it. If it wasn't important, they wouldn't be doing it. 80% of the teams in America, when they signal, they pull out the big curtain behind so the guys in the press box can't get them. Well, they done smarten up. They done put them on the field. So they got two guys, and they just sit here and try to get it. So you got to have ways of hiding your signals, So you can always know, like, when a play happens, you go, hey, man, they got our signals. Because it's just like a perfect play. You just know. All over college football. So that's not, it's nothing new. It's not one of those deals where it's like unethical or something like that. Like, they do it. If you're crazy enough to keep the same signals, that's on you.
And just like you don't steal kickers either. You know what I'm saying? Just
if
fix
you're crazy
it.
enough to have the same signals,
Yeah.
that's on you.
Yeah, change it up. Hey, man.
I mean, that's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah. I like the candor there. Yeah. Sorry, I saw the TikTok where he was doing the Eminem impersonation. I didn't, that's what I thought we might have found. Of course.
Do you want to hear this one again, though?
All right, special teams lost your kicker.
This was still too
Carter
good.
McLaughlin.
We didn't lose him. He's at Alabama. We know exactly.
I understand.
We know exactly
that.
where he's at. Like you media people, it's all pretend. Like, no, Alabama stole our kicker.
Yes,
they illegally recruited our kicker and stole him from us. And like that's a fact. But but we act like it's not. We live in this la world. Like, hey, let's not talk. I don't know why everybody knows what's going on. So yeah, Alabama stole our kicker. A couple other schools try to steal it, but then what's the question?
Just for those that were not listening in the 7:00 hour, had to play it again in the 8:00 hour, just so that people would know Alabama stole Miami of Ohio's kicker.
Boo hoo hoo. Go ask Big Ben for a loan. So you'll have more NIL money then.
I had to do that. I mean, we had to play that again. Kalen DeBoer again had his final press conference. One of the things with Nick Saban was if you asked him about the depth chart, you got the and basically that's what you got. With Kalen DeBoer, he was asked about the depth chart yesterday.
We'll probably do something where it's public, at some point throughout the week. A lot of it is also just kind of where it's at with our opponent too. That's really you kind of know, especially after week one. The week one game is probably the trickiest, but there's so much information on us that's out there already. I always kind of assume that is known by our opponent. So there'll be some things. I think for the most part, 90% of it is kind of already known. Obviously, the special teams pieces are still out there. The other 10% or whatever you want to call it, I would say that some of those things are still kind of up in the air and going to be a work in progress and not solidified. If you got a depth chart, there might be some ors in different spots, and that's hopefully understandable.
Much different response from Kalen DeBoer.
We had ors and slashes and everything else under Nick Saban too.
Well, you did, but he never presented it like that, Well, he had just a more astute way of saying there will be dashes or ors.
Well, I mean, he never really liked giving out a depth chart. He hated depth charts. So Kalen DeBoer will be releasing one soon. I'm sure probably early next week. That'll make some headlines. Obviously, we heard from Jimmy Gay earlier in the show. There's going to be an or at quarterback today.
Yes. There will be. Now, let's see here. Why do I got to get a commercial every time I go to play something?
Those
It's like
pop-ups.
I cue it up and it's perfect. And then all of a sudden we get a commercial because last year, remember, this is what we got last year from Nick Saban on depth charts.
Your number one focus is not on the game. It's on the depth chart. And look, there's a lot of competition on the team. And when we put a depth chart out, you all think that's like final. Like this is.
Oh, well, I don't know why it does that. When I do that on the road, I do it through the Roadcaster and I play it on one channel, it plays just fine. When I do it here and it plays on this one channel, it doesn't do it at all. Well, anyway, there we go. I was trying to be cute, but that didn't work. Let's get a break in because there's really nowhere to go from that. Bob Gonsi will join us.
Coming off of a special year at Madison Academy, and they have got a big-time opener at Bill Washington Stadium against the Mars Hill Panthers. It's going to be a great night for high school football over in Madison.
And he likes talking to us on Fridays.
Good karma, man.
He
Always
does.
good karma.
He does. And we'll visit with Bob Gonsi next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing consistently into the lower 90s across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. We're also going to be just a touch on the humid end of the spectrum. We drop into the low and mid 60s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 90s. Not a drop of rain in the forecast as we head into the front half of the weekend. We drop into the mid and upper 60s through the overnight. A mostly sunny sky on Sunday. Going to be a little bit warmer. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Picked up a new wreck on the Parkway southbound at Winchester. They paged this one out as an injury type, but first units on the scene canceled Hemsey. And we still may have some problems on County Line southbound at 565 and Madison Boulevard. Had a wreck there, and they've been diverting all the southbound traffic over onto Old Highway 20. So that one may cause you some problems. You may have to go to Greenbrier and go down to get to 565. Officers, construction workers, and first responders put their lives on the line every time they step on the roadway. You can make it safer for them. Slow down or move over. It's the law. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
If you enjoy 97.7 ESPN The Zone for all the best in sports talk, you'll love Talk Radio WZZN on 97.7 HD2. Don't have an HD radio? No worries. Download the app by searching for Talk Radio WZZN on your phone or visit the website at Talk Radio WZZN. Talk Radio WZZN features the best in talk from Fox News Radio during the day, plus Bill O'Reilly and his No Spin News at 6. Your home of the Rocket City Trash Pandas is Talk Radio WZZN. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Well, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Theisen, Drew DeArmond. The last time we talked to Bob Gonsi, by the way, brought to you by Sportsman Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, they were making a run to the Class, was it 3A state championship game?
Yes.
They were playing there in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Against
You and
Mobile
I were
Christian.
there for that game. They come up ultimately short in their quest to win the 3A state championship. But one thing we know about Madison Academy is that they do kind of go on and they kind of reload a little bit and they retool and they re-aim for another run. But this year, though, it's going to have to come on the Class 4A side.
Yeah, they've moved up. They were in 3A Region 7 a year ago, and they're excited for this move to 4A Region 8. It's going to be a huge challenge. As we said in round 2, they played against Daryl Higgins and Mars Hill, 21-14. Madison Academy win in the second round of that 3A playoff run, which went all the way to Tuscaloosa before facing Ronnie Cottrell and Mobile Christian. It was a tremendous year. And one of the best playoff runs I've ever been a part of. I was very fortunate from that second round matchup on through to see the Mustangs play 4 times. We know what kind of senior class they had, and we know what kind of program Coach Bob Godsey has built going into year 6. He is 50-13 at the helm of Madison Academy, and he'll take on Daryl Higgins and Mars Hill, who's still down in 3A. So this is going to be, they're in different classifications, but a 2-time state champion for Mars Hill, a 3-time state champion for Madison Academy. These are 2 of the best programs in North Alabama and in our state. And Bob Godsey has been kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, it's great to have you back on. We know it's another high school football season getting ready to get underway. We saw you at our media day. Good to hear from you again. You're with Drew and Scott. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. Good to be back. Good to get this thing going again.
No question. And Coach, since now you've had fall camp since we last spoke with you, how have you seen your team grow? This is still some very talented individuals back, led by, of course, linebacker AJ Rice, but you lost some special players, some big time talent. But one of the coolest things about high school football is watching kids grow, watching new pieces kind of blossom. How has fall camp gone for you, Coach?
It's gone good. We make great strides, and you summed it up there. This is going to be a fun year, just simply because we're so young, and the goal and the fun in it is to watch these guys continue to grow, because that's what we've seen. Since we started at the end of July there, and they're growing almost every day. There are going to be some tough spots, obviously. As a coach, when you get used to, when you have a veteran group like we did last year, you in your mind you're seeing the execution and all of the mature things that this group, that's what you remember. And then when you start over on the field with these guys, you got a young, very inexperienced group. It brings you back to reality pretty quick. But we're excited about this group. It's been rough around here. I'll be honest. It's been tough. 3 weeks, and now as we get ready to play Mars Hill, we kind of get to see once again where we are, and more importantly where we can go.
With the loss of veterans comes the loss of leadership, and you kind of alluded to that. Who's kind of stepped up in spring camp a little bit to kind of help fill some of those leadership roles?
Well, we have a good nucleus of guys back in terms of, you got Keaton Watson and AJ Rice, Josh Williams. Those guys have been, integral parts of our program here for 3 years. So it's kind of their turn to really take the helm as leaders, even though they've been a big part of it for quite some time. Then you go there to it's their turn with the Mike Wiggins and AJ Seatons and guys like that. It's their turn. Jaden Etienne's, even Alex Crowder at quarterback. It's their turn now. It's their time, and they've done an outstanding job. This has been a very hard working group. It's been a fun group. They've shown up every day and have done what's asked of them. Now it's just about that continued fight each day to get better. And I have a lot of confidence in this group that they will do that. I don't know what it'll look like on the scoreboard, but I know this group's going to show up and keep battling.
And then, Coach, what about the move up? 4A Region 8, you guys were in 3A Region 7 a year ago. Some new challenges, some new opponents. A team like Randolph is now, you've played out of regions, now a region opponent that I know you have a lot of respect for. But kind of talk about the move up now in class.
Well, we're excited about it. We kind of feel like that's where we're supposed to be, and just in terms of the locality, and being, playing. We played Randolph, we played Madison County, we played Westminster as non-region games, but now they've become region games. But to get back on there with the North Jacksons and and people like that are kind of built in, rivalries and close by, and we've had, excellent competition with those. So we're excited about that, excited to get back in. 4A's kind of stacked, and when you look through it, you got a lot of really, Pleasant Grove moving down, Mobile Christian moving up. You got a lot of really, 4A's going, it's going to be a barn burner. No question about it. And, we hope that we can get in there and get in the mix.
Well, Coach, what's going to be the strongest point of your team offensively this year?
Well, offensively, we have good size up front, even though that we're young up there, but we do have good size up front, especially in the middle of our offensive line. So, running the ball with Josh is going to be a big key, and then being able to keep people from stacking the box. We need to be able to throw it around a little bit. So, Alex has made excellent strides, through the year. We have freshman Charleston Owens who just continues to get better, and he will always have a role in our offense as well. And then it's time for guys like, Zion Williams to step up. Jaden Etienne who had a solid year for us last year. He needs to kind of move his game forward as well. And then, Mike Wiggins, Maurice Scott, Khalil Green, guys like that. It's their turn, and it may take a few games to get all that worked out, and kind of, that's the beauty of this first game. We'll learn a lot tonight. We met with our guys this morning, and that was really the big message was we'll know a lot about our direction, kind of after tonight.
And Coach, I'm excited about Khalil Green because I know his father, Ray Sean, he was a great athlete at Butler High School, and we've seen Khalil on the basketball court for the Mustangs. But he's a guy that you look at his body type and his athleticism, and again the bloodlines. He's someone that from this point, and it's a building process. Like, I know he's already a senior, but by the middle of the season and then to the end, when you're hopefully getting ready to make a playoff run, could really be a special athlete.
I agree. I think he's a little bit, indicative of a lot of our guys. It's going to take some time for us to kind of play into shape, so to speak, and kind of figure out roles and for guys to mature and gain that confidence and all of those things that comes with it. Last year we kind of rolled in with that, a lot of those roles already kind of decided or knew where we were headed. This group here is just going to be kind of figuring it out. We got, we're 6 or 7 deep up front in terms of, what's that combination going to look like, as far as our 5 offensive linemen. Here in a couple of weeks, it may be the same 5 that go out there tonight. It could be completely different. The good thing is that we have some competition there, even though it's young guys. Devin Johnson's the guy that continues to get better, but extremely young. Slate Glover, as small as he was last year as a freshman, was kind of our 6th guy enrolled at several different positions. And we've added Donovan Dubose in the middle there. It's really helped solidify things. And then we have a bevy of, about 3 or 4 other really young guys that just keep improving. And we want that to continue, because we're going to have that depth before the season's over with as well.
Madison Academy head football coach Bob Gotze joining us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, you like to challenge your team in non-region games, and boy, oh boy, you're doing so right out of the gates tonight with Mars Hill.
I don't know who made this schedule, but I need to talk to that guy. You got a young team, and you jump in there against Mars Hill and right out of the chute, and then we got Arab and a 5A team that's extremely physical and been really good the last couple of years. But like I said, I felt like even though we had a young team, I have a lot of confidence in these guys. I felt like it would only help us in our region play and hopefully kind of harden us so that we can make a playoff run.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's all about making that playoff run. I know that's the expectation at Madison Academy. And Coach, I know they lost Griffin Hansen. They lost a special player at quarterback. You lost some special skill guys, Ken Cherry, Jackson Reese, some very special people. But as you've already mentioned a few that you're excited about to see them play. Let's switch to the other side of the ball, though, a little bit defensively. We know A.J. Rice and what he can do, but there's some new faces and new roles. Who else are you excited about watching defensively tonight? Because that's going to be a big key to the game, is controlling the line of scrimmage. And that Mars Hill is going to do what they do. I know a lot of times they're a wing T football team, but they make a lot of big plays, and being in the right gap and making tackles and tackling in the open field is a big key.
Well, like I said, a lot of people say, well, they run the wing T. Well, one, it's a good offense. Two, Darrell Higgins. You don't mention the wing T in North Alabama that his name is not the first one that comes up. So, he obviously has done it for a long time and knows exactly what he's doing, and he's going to put pressure on you regardless of how you try to defend him and that type of thing. And that's just the beauty or the difficulty of that offense. But we're excited about that challenge, and the guys that we're most excited about that have really come maybe as far as we hope they would is, Cam Wilson is one at defensive end. He's a guy that really improved, and the playoff run is fun and everything. Everybody gets to see that, but what happens behind the scenes in that is you have a lot of guys that get extra time or extra practice that they needed. Those 4 or 5 weeks in which Cam really grew. I felt Alex Crowder was kind of the same way during those practice times. That was like an extra spring practice for those guys where they really began to figure it out. And Cam was one that took advantage of that. Barrett Canada is another one that took advantage of that. Gave us some good snaps last year as a sophomore, but now he steps into a starting role, and it's his opportunity. Danny McCauley is another guy that played pivotal roles on special teams and then on the field till he got hurt in the semifinal game. So he's the guy a little nicked up coming in, but he's important to us as well. And then in the secondary, we feel like that we might be hopefully a little bit better back there, just because we're a little older and a little bigger. We're a little bigger back there. So a lot of good things that are going on. Of course, the center's around A.J. Rice, and he and Keaton both have played a lot of snaps. Josh Williams as well. All those guys have played a lot of snaps defensively over the years, and they've done an excellent job of communicating and leading our team, but especially our defense. And that'll be a big key tonight. Communication, continuing to communicate offensively, defensively. As a young team, as we're working hard and striving to get on, everybody get on the same page.
And then, Coach, as we're wrapping it up with him, this is Bob Godsey. Year 6, Madison Academy Mustangs reached the 3A finals a year ago and had such a special year. Looking to make a run in 4A this year as they've moved up to 4A Region 8. You've mentioned the wing T, the difficulty in preparing for it, the high level they execute under Darrell Higgins. But what's going to be the keys tonight to getting a win over at Bill Washington Stadium against a high-quality opponent that is a playoff caliber team that's going to help you prepare for this run this year in 4A?
Well, we tried our best to keep it simple, and that everything kind of starts off the trap with them. So we've got to do an excellent job of containing the trap. You're not going to shut it down, but you got to do a good job of containing it. Then our secondary has to have great, eye discipline. Discipline is something we talk about every day in our program. So that hurt us last year against them. We got them in the 3rd and longs and even 4th and longs that you want to get a wing T offense in. But then in the secondary, we couldn't execute in those situations. Mars Hill did, and we didn't. Which kept the game extremely close and kept the pressure on us as well. Offensively, their front 7 are really good. They play extremely hard. They do what they do. It's not necessarily super complicated. At the same time, they're really good at it. So it's going to be a huge challenge for us up front, especially as young as we are.
Madison Academy.
Also, I'll mention.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Coach.
Kicking game wise, we've kind of had to revamp things. we had Neil Radak back after missing last year with an ACL injury, and unfortunately he got injured again during camp. So we've had to revamp things in our kicking game. Kicking game's always a worry, the first game of the year, because it's just so hard to simulate it. So we'll have some new guys doing that. We got a lot of confidence in them. They've done extremely well. But once again, kicking game is just always breathtaking, for lack of a better word, those first couple of games, just because it's so hard to simulate in practice.
Not trying to age you, but is this year 27 on the sidelines for you?
I guess if you say so. I think it's as a head coach.
Yeah,
I think that's right. Yeah, as a head coach, I think you're right.
You're 27.
So, yeah, I'm old. I'm okay with that. I'm old, and so we've been through a few of these, but hopefully we got a few more left in us.
No, absolutely. The experienced Hall of Famer. Those are some terms to use. And also his good friend Jerry Adcock is going to have his first game at Whitesburg Christian Academy tonight as well. So I know
back from his 1-year retirement, Coach.
Yeah,
He couldn't stay away.
Yeah. We all knew that wasn't going to last very long.
No, sir. When I'm over at West Morgan awarding a team of the week, and it's like 30 degrees, and I see somebody waving at me from the top of the bleachers, and he comes down on the field, and it's Jerry Adcock, I was like, "No, there's no way he's staying out."
We knew that wasn't going to take long.
No, sir.
It's good that it's always good to have good men in the profession, and Jerry's certainly one of those.
He certainly is. Jerry certainly is. We love him. Coach, good luck tonight. We were honored, as always, to be home with the Mustangs. It'll be Steve Moulton, Glenn Laird on the call against Mars Hill over at Bill Washington Stadium. Get there early. It'll be a great crowd, great environment. Coach, good luck tonight, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. It should be a good one.
Thanks. Bob Gotze, kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach beginning his 6th season as head coach at Madison Academy.
Yep, 6th year, man.
Season there at Mustang. Wow, time flies. All right, let's get a break in. Tomorrow's headlines will wrap it up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a couple of wrecks that may still be causing problems. Southbound on the Parkway at Winchester, that one reported with an injury, but they canceled him. See, we had County Line and Madison Boulevard. That everything blocked off trying to get down to 565. They were rerouting traffic on Old Highway 20, so that area may still be a little slow. Snelling needs an experienced accountant in Decatur. It's a growing company with great benefits. Snelling, how the area's best companies hire talent. Huntsville.snelling.com. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
It's time time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, we know by now we've got high school football on tonight. We've talked a lot about it in earnest in 2 hours. And we also talked a lot about Alabama stealing Miami of Ohio's kicker as well. But we need to go out to the phone lines. Jimmy Lay is with us. Good morning, Jimmy.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, guys. Great show, by the way. You guys are just all over it this morning.
Well,
Yeah, appreciate
we've
that.
been everywhere.
We were looking forward to your debut as the color analyst for Westminster Christian Academy Wildcat football.
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy night. Yeah, I look forward to that. It's going to be an exciting first game for them against East Limestone. But after that, I'm looking at 4 other games. I'll be looking at the Huntsville Hazel Green game. I'll be looking at the Randolph West Morgan. Looking forward to that. Athens, May Jemison, and also Grissom and Lee. So I will have a real busy night, not just doing Westminster and talking about everything that happens there, but also these other games. Got to really give a big shout out to Thomas Ashworth, our new guy at AL.com. Normally I have 5 or 6 games, but he's helping out. And so I don't have quite as much that I have to do tonight. So really thankful to have him. This is just an exciting time. And the temperature is just wonderful, isn't it? I mean,
I know. We were
last year.
Yeah, we were talking about it compared to last year where everybody was melting.
Where but Bandy and I almost suffocated.
Yeah.
We were definitely dehydrated.
Everybody was melting last year.
I was proud of Bandy, though. He was chugging the water, brother.
100 and some degrees when we would kick off last year. This year, we're way more comfortable.
It was crazy. I mean, I was out at Milton Frank for Westminster and Lee, and it was so hot on that turf. I thought it was going to melt their cleats. It was just ridiculous. Well, it feels great tonight, so hopefully everybody's hydrated. Shouldn't have to worry about too many cramps tonight, and hopefully everything goes well. And I got to tell you, Westminster looked good last week in their scrimmage with Haleyville. They scored on 4 of their first 5 possessions. Didn't show a lot, as you don't usually during a scrimmage like that. Coach LeBlanc mentioned Carson Tinsley. He made a big play at linebacker, causing a fumble at the goal line, but also kicked a 47-yard field goal that would have been good from 50. So they're pretty solid in the kicking game too.
Yeah, that'll be key. And this will be an interesting matchup with East Limestone.
Yep.
Yeah, not sure what they're going to see from East Limestone. I only saw a little bit of their spring game with West Morgan. I'm really looking forward to see what West Morgan and Randolph do. I know Randolph is man, they got their quarterback back.
Got the Mitchell combination.
Just a special player. And then Wiggins is their tight end, I think. He's a beast.
Hunter Wiggins.
So really David Lloyd has just done such a great job at Randolph. I mean, they've been in the playoffs every year since he's been there. He's the last coach to take JP2 to the playoffs. And so he's just done a great job at Randolph. Looking forward to what they'll do with West Morgan. West Morgan just reloads. And so we expect them to come out and be ready for that game. But just a lot of excitement. Good to hear, Coach Godsey. It's so great to have so many coaches in this area that put so much into these young men's lives. Coach LeBlanc, Coach Godsey, Coach Lloyd, Kelvis White, so many others that really, I mean, they care about football, but they also care about these young men and what's going to happen to these guys once they finish playing. And that's what I'm so proud to be a part of at Westminster. And what they do, and their motto is using football to build better men. That's what they're trying to do.
All right. Well, Jimmy,
Looking forward
thanks.
to it.
And be safe tonight. And we will talk to you on the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware.
There you go.
There you go. All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks,
and I'm going to be really anxious to see what kind of senior year Graham Beatty has.
Yeah.
What a talent he is at running back and safety for the Randolph Raiders. He's had another. This will be his time to shine and be the leader of that football team.
All right. In case you get your fill of high school football, don't forget North Alabama in action tomorrow night, 6:00, Crampton Bowl, Southeast Missouri State, FCS kickoff, first college team from the state of Alabama to play a college football game, and they will play tomorrow night, 6:00, Crampton Bowl.
Looking
Stay
forward
safe,
to that.
everyone.
Don't
Safe
forget
travels.
Ireland, 11 a.m.
Yep. And Miami stole Alabama's kicker.
Of Ohio.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit